How's it going, y'all? This is Alonzo Harvey here at Inside the Fight. Here at Rising Dragon MMA. Just finished up some practice. So, guys, I want to throw this out here to you guys, man. I watched, just like everybody else, the UFC on ABC on Saturday, right? I had a few things. As you can see, the title, guys, all right? For you who are watching this after the fact, I want you to tell me what you think about the fight. Well, a few things. Tell me about what you think about the fight card. Your question or statement about Max Holloway and his no sparring, the second time, not once, but the second time in a row during this fight camp. And most importantly, your opinion on the main event, Holloway versus Kattar. Should the fight have been stopped? Should the corner throw in the towel? But I will say one thing before I get in here, guys. The UFC on ABC, man, they picked an awesome lineup for the main card. Every single fight was entertaining. If I recall properly, first three fights were all finishes. Condit versus Matt Brown was a great fight. Of course, I'm a Matt Brown fan. Know Matt Brown. Helped him a few times. Awesome guy, good fighter. Man, I'm going to be honest. I don't remember the last time I seen a boring Matt Brown fight. That fight was really good. Went to decision. I would have liked to see a little bit more clinch game from Matt Brown. Believe it or not, he's extremely strong in the clinch with his knees and awesome elbows. And believe it or not, with some tie sweeps and takedowns from the clinch. I would have liked to see him in that particular one go a little bit to the clinch. So here we go, guys. I'm going to drop a link temporarily here in the comments for people. Right? If you want to join me live for if you have a question or statement, you click on the link, log in. If you're on your cell phone or if you're on iPhone, try and go through Safari. See if I get it here. Here we go. Boom. I'm going to drop this down in the comments here. Copy this. Do me a favor, let me know what you think about the fights in the comments, man, on ABC. It was actually very good for UFC, man. All the fights were super exciting, hard hitting. They just picked a really good lineup. All the fighters, winners and losers, man, went out there and put it on. Right? They went out there and did their thing. Some of them went out on their shield. The main event, bro, could have been stopped, man. That was crazy, man. It was a historical ass whooping, man. That's pretty much what I'm going to say, which is hard for me to say, man. I'm a big Calvin Kattar fan. Him and his whole crew, the New England cartel. I like their team dynamic. I like how they get along and train. I like how a couple of them kind of goofy. I just like the dynamic of how they all get along with their coach and each other. And on top of that, it's a small, close-knit group, and they all bring it, man. So each time one of those guys actually are fighting, I'm tuning in because they all bring the fight. But tonight was not Kattar's night. So once again, I dropped a link in the comments, guys. You can click on the comment and join me live for a really quick question or comment about the UFC on ABC this last Saturday. So, I'm going to get right into it, man. First, about the fight, man. First of all, man, hands off to Max Holloway. He's always doing the thing. He's always bringing the fight. But man, it's hard out there when the guy is out there in the zone, man. This is probably the first time I seen someone. I think he went Super Saiyan, guys, man. And during the fight, bro, he got in the zone. He was feeling it. He was having fun. Almost every time I've seen a fighter like start to have fun in the middle of the fight and bring in the fight, man, they just hard to beat. It's just really hard to beat. He was yelling at the commentators, DC and the commentators talking about he the best boxer in the UFC. And he was just talking junk, man, turning his head, hitting the dude. It was a good show. It was a really good show, really good fight. If you missed it, try and tune in and rewatch that fight, the main event, man, because it was worth it. Here we go. Let me make sure I get those links in here. Let me boom, boom, boom. There we go. Hold on. Get that going on. All right, guys. So for anybody watching this after the fact, let me know what you think, what you thought about the main event. Should Kattar's corner have thrown a towel in? I will say one thing. Some people, not many people, was really complaining about the ref, because I tell you about the rules, regardless if I agree with them and not agree with them at the same time. What I mean about that is the unified MMA rules states that as long as a fighter is intelligently defending himself, as long as he intelligently defended himself, they'll let the fight keep going. So every time Herb Dean stepped in there and was looking at Kattar and told him to show him something, he was blocking. He threw some punches back. He was defending himself and put on an attempt. I don't want to say an offense, an attempt at fighting back, because that was probably the fourth round. And he did enough to not, even though he was on his feet, he did enough not to be stopped. So my thing is probably in between the fourth and fifth round being his corner. My outside eyes looking in, for me being at home, I would have probably threw the towel in. And let me tell you why. So here's a few things. Keep in mind, throwing the towel in is always a tough situation for the fighter, for the coaches, everyone involved. Keep in mind that, keep in mind that Wilder fired his dude that threw the towel in, man. Fighters don't like that. They want to go out on their shield. That's what they train for. But when you're a coach, when you're running the corner, man, you have two jobs, right? Your first job, both jobs are just as important. Your first job is to help your fighter mentally, physically, and strategically advise him and put him in the best situation to help him win the fight and be victorious, right? That's your first job as a coach in the corner. In the corner, man. Your second job, man, is his safety, man. Is watching the fighter safety, right? You're the front line. Being the corner man, being the coach, you are the front line, not the ref, not the promoter, not Dana White, not the manager, not the judges, not the fans. You are the front line of defense. Sometimes you got to live to fight another day, man. When you take an historic butt whipping, and I call it historic because he broke records, butt whipping like that, you got to know, you got a few things, man. Everyone is different. Like, you got to know your fighter. You got to know the person he's fighting. Max Holloway, I don't think he's been something crazy. He hasn't been dropped in like 24, his last 20-something fights. Or you're right. He hasn't been dropped. He has not been dropped in like 20 fights. And some crazy amount of rounds has not been dropped. He has a crazy chin, has not been dropped. Your guy's taken a massive ass whooping for not one, not two, not three, but 4 consecutive rounds. And the fourth round was really bad. When I say he broke records, it's not CompuBox, that's boxing. What the UFC uses to count significant strikes when they're in there, what the UFC uses to count them, right? The unofficial significant strikes thrown to the head and the body and total amount count, right, was already broke records. And then at the end of the fight, they had to go back and recount. They added like 150 something significant strikes after the fight was over because they couldn't keep up with the pace, right? That was crazy. That's the kind of pace that was going on. So for those who have not seen the fight, go online, go check it out wherever they have it, ABC, Fight Pass, I'm not even sure. Look it up. Definitely check out that fight. But like I said, once again, man, when you're the corner, when you're the coach in the corner, coaches in the corner, time, why not? when you the coaches in the corner, right? It's also your job for the fighter's safety, right? When a fighter takes punishment like that, he leaves piece of himself in the cage, in the ring, that just won't get back, man. For those hardcore fans in MMA, know about Spencer Fisher. After all these years going through a lot of medical issues from all the major wars he's been in, man, sometimes you gotta know your fighter, know the guy he's fighting, and see where he's at. Sometimes you put him in there, and sometimes it's live to fight another day, right? So don't get me wrong, man. I'm not bashing his coach, right? This wasn't as bad as the Pennington versus Nunes fight. Definitely watch that. Pennington at the middle of the round told her physically, mentally, told her coach she was done after that butt whooping. Like, I'm done. And he still sent her in there. Bro, that was negligence right there. But this fight was definitely gray area. I would have stopped it because I felt that at this point, Kattar did not have zero chance of winning. When he no longer had a chance of winning, you got to pull your guy out there, pull him out, save that damage, live to fight another day. When you're a coach and you're a lot of things going on in your mind, you're viewing, you're seeing how when he comes back into the corner, man, it's crazy, man. You got to look at how he looks, how he's feeling, how he's responding, right? In the fog of war, in the heat of battle, in the chaos of combat, right? You got to look at your fighter, see how he's responding, look at his body language, man. In between the fourth and fifth round, his body, he went, even though he was tired, man, he was super slumped. He wasn't really responsive, and he just took a massive butt whooping. So that was my opinion.